Hi everyone, it's Tawny. In today's video, we are testing out new Makeup Revolution items. I have picked up quite a few. So we're testing out some new makeup. I have been like dying to test out some of these new products. And ever since I've seen them on social media, I'm like, I have to test them out. And I don't have a full face of Makeup Revolution. I honestly thought I did, but I don't. So we're gonna work with what we have. And then anything else, I'm just gonna substitute with a drugstore alternative. I'm really hoping a lot of this stuff works really well because I'm super excited about it. And I'm hoping that we find a new favorite obsessive foundation to use because I'm super excited about this one. Okay, so I already have my face moisturized, sunscreen, and I just did my primer. So now we can go ahead in with the foundation. And it is the IRL Filter Foundation. It's a long-wear foundation. It's a breathable soft matte. And it says it has 16-hour wear, like all over the thing. So I got it in shade F4 because I'm pretty sure that's my shade because my concealer shade is C2. So I know that like 2 is too light. I think I've used a 3 before and that was okay, but like the undertone is a little different. So I'm like 90% sure that this is like the right shade. It in the tube does not look right, but we will test it out. I'm just gonna go ahead and put like, I think 2 pumps. So I'm going to start off with that and then we'll see if I need to go any further with like anything else. So I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Okay, that seems like it'll be a good shade match. I don't know. I've gotten a little bit of a tan since the summer started, but not much of one. Like I'm not J-Lo tan like I thought. Okay, so initial reaction, I really like the coverage that this is providing. It's really blurring. And like, I know I've seen a lot of videos where people are like, it's super blurring. And like, I kind of thought it was like dumb, but like now that I'm using it, like, do you see what? Oh my gosh, I like this already. We'll see how it wears and how all the makeup applies on top of it. And then we'll make that determination on whether we like it or not. But so far, I mean, this is like, they're definitely right when they call it a filter. And I know a lot of people don't like filters because they're so fake looking, but honestly, I like that unblemished, smoothed out, no texture look. Honestly, like I'm one to use a filter on a picture that makes me look better because it'll make me feel better. Because deep down, I need a little bit of an ump sometimes. Okay, so we have it on the cheeks. I'm really liking the way this is applying, and it's like, it doesn't really feel like I'm wearing anything, honestly. It's so lightweight, and I think that like is a good, it's a really good sign in a foundation, honestly, because if you have anything too heavy, then it sometimes can wear heavy, and then you're just like miserable all day, because like you just constantly feel that makeup that's on your face, and then you're just like so aware of it. I really like the way it's blending into my neck because I honestly can't really tell where my neck stops and my face starts. I mean, other than like my jawline that like is not existent, but like, I think it's a really nice foundation so far. Like, I'm really liking it. Like, you see the difference from here to like my forehead, and even though my forehead's like probably one of my least problematic areas on my face, but I really like the way this is applying and the way it's sitting on my face. And I like that I don't feel it, and it's so nice. I honestly think this is like gonna be one of my new favorite foundations. And if this wears like my Maybelline Superstay foundation, it might have some competition because that's my like go-to everyday in the rain and the sweat and the heat foundation. That's the one I use. And I'm always looking for one to replace it. Not that I want to replace it, but like if I needed to, it'd be nice to find one that actually you like that could happen to it. Okay, first reaction after the whole face is applied with just one coat. I never went back in to any areas. I just kind of kept buffing with what was on the brush. I really like the way it smoothed out the skin from my neck to my face. I really like the way, like, it looks really seamless. And this area I'm like super conscious about, and like, I want it to look really nice. And I feel like this makes it look really nice. Like, I feel really nice and confident right now. And that's like, I love makeup that does that because it's honestly like the best feeling in the world. Because like that's what you want your makeup to do, is to make you feel better about yourself and like just make you feel pretty. And even though you're pretty without makeup, like I sometimes don't always feel pretty without makeup. So I use makeup to make myself feel pretty, and like this is definitely one of those foundations. And like I really like the glowiness it's providing without being overly glowy. Like I feel like it's a very matte, like the basis of it is matte, but then it has a little bit of a glow to it on top of that. And I like really like this. Like, honestly, this is the best foundation I've ever put on my face within the first like couple minutes. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes foundations turn out better later and they look really bad initially, or they start out really good and then they go to crap later. But like within the first 5 minutes of applying this, this is the best foundation ever put on my face. You can quote that. We'll see how we feel in about 8 hours. I will do a check-in on this because I really like don't want to make a claim like that if I don't feel that way. And now I'm just going to go in with a beauty blender and just smooth out certain areas just to like get a little bit more of like a seamless application. But I honestly don't even feel like I need to do that. It's just like habit anymore that I do it. So for concealer, we're going to use the Conceal and Hydrate Radiance Concealer in the shade C2. This is the only concealer I have of Makeup Revolution because my Conceal and Define is dried out. I think I threw it away, or if I still have it, I can't use it because it's dried out because I used so much of it that like there's not much left. So whatever is there, I can't really get out because it's obviously dried out. But I like that one, but I like this one better because it's more of a hydrating formula and it like doesn't go on quite as matte. Even though I like matte products, this one isn't quite as matte. Okay, so we're not going to immediately powder the face because I did get some new products for the base of my face. So I got the cream bronzer. It's Ultra Cream Bronzer in the shade Light because I keep seeing this on their Instagram and I like really want to test it out. So I'm going in with an EcoTool stippling brush. It's a sheer brush. Sheer blush brush, that's what it's called. But I'm going in and I'm just going to like lightly dab it in the high points of my cheekbones, and then I will blend it out from there. I think this is a really nice shade. I like something that's a little bit like deeper, but that's just my personal opinion because I don't always like my bronzer to look like a blush because I want my peach blush to like be its own color. But honestly, this isn't bad. It's just definitely not meant for contouring, and that's okay. But I sometimes like a bronzer that can do both. Like I like one that can contour and bronze because I don't use contour. I just use like the bronzer to do that for me. So that would have kind of been nice, but honestly, it's not that bad. So I'm just taking it around my, what should be my jaw that I don't really, when I do this, yeah, I have it, but then like other times I don't. And then I'm going to go up around the perimeter of my face on my forehead. Okay, that looks really nice on my forehead. I really like that nice sun-kissed glow that it's giving me. And like everything's still matte for the most part, but it's not like overwhelming. Like I feel okay with like the matteness that I'm at right now, if that makes sense. All right, and next up, I got some blushes. I got the Super Dewy Liquid Blush in, I think it says Fake the Flush, but I don't know if that's the actual shade. I got it in this shade. It's kind of like a peachy pink corally color. I know I just described 3 different colors, but that's what I got. And then I got the liquid blush with vitamin E in the shade Peach Filter. So I got this one. It's giving me Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid lipstick vibes, honestly, but a lot of packaging that's in this kind of a thing can look similar to something else. So I'm not really saying that that's what it does, but like, I guess with like the pink, like when I first looked at it online, I was like, ooh, that's not good. But I think I'm going to be using the Super Dewy blush just because like I've seen a lot of good things about it and I really like this shade and I think it'll look really nice on top of the base that we have. So I'm gonna go and put this on the back of my hand. I don't always like to put it on my face directly in case it applies too strong, so then that way I'm not like left to deal with it, or I'm like picking up product that's underneath to try and like fix the mistake that's on my face. So I just go in with my beauty blender and then I tap it out a little bit just to kind of like get it smushed into my blender a little bit. And then I'm going to start at the high points of my cheekbones just above my bronzer and then blend down into my cheek but that's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people don't really like that anymore. That's not really like their style of makeup, but I prefer my blush to go like from end to end, basically. So far, I like the way it's applying, but it's very sheer. So that is really nice. Like the way it applies, I think it's super, super pretty. It's a little bit lighter than I wanted it to be. Like it's showing up more on camera than it is in person, but maybe like once I go outside in natural lighting, it'll like, bam, you know, hit me. So I'm going to take a little bit across the bridge of my nose. Oh, that is pretty. I like that. That is nice. See what I mean? How I like to take it from end to end. I want all the blush, okay? I want to look like I'm like sunburnt and embarrassed at the same time. Okay, and that's really nice because it wasn't staining on the back of my hand. Like I have a little bit of pigment, but I think that's just from like where my tissue didn't, yeah, see, I wiped it all up. I use tissues to clean up all of my makeup carcass from whatever look I'm doing. For highlighter, I picked up this product a while ago at my Ulta, and it is the Bright Light Highlighter. It's a strobe champagne with quartz. I don't know what I just said, but it's strobe champagne, I think is the shade or something. Oh, I didn't open it. I tried to open all the products before I started filming, so we didn't have to see this on camera, so I apologize. I was really trying to be on top of it. Like I really was. Okay. How do I open this? Wait, what? You gotta open the top part first. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Why was I so dumb there? Okay, so you have to twist it to get it to come up in the puff, which honestly the puff is like really fancy looking. Like, look at this. It's cute. So usually when you get a new thing in a puff, you have to keep cranking and cranking and cranking to get it to come up, which that's a sucky part. Because then you have to just sit here and sit here and sit here until it like comes up. Oh, we're getting somewhere. You see it? I see it. Ah! Okay, we're getting somewhere. Okay, I'm going to just apply this directly onto the high points of my cheek, and then we'll just blend it out from there. I've seen really good things about this on their Instagram. Then again, it's like people getting on their Instagram promoting it directly. So, like, it could be paid sponsorship type things, but we're going to test it out because I think something like this could be really cute. Okay, what brush do I use to? I think we're going to use... Okay, we're going to use this sponge that I used to apply my concealer, and we're just going to, like... I think I'm going to use the side that had the blush, and then just tap it out. That is not really blending out too well. Oh my gosh, did I let it sit too long? Oh my gosh. Okay, hair, out of the way. I washed my hair, so now it's like, girl, we have an attitude now. Okay, I definitely think that this is a product that the more you blend, the more you like lose it. Like you could blend it away, because I blended a lot on my cheek, and like while I can see it, it's not quite as bright as I was hoping it would be. Not like on this side. So I guess I just have to blend this side out and go from there. It's not bad. I definitely don't think it's my favorite, but I also don't really care for liquid or cream highlighters. That's just my personal opinion. I just prefer everything to be powder, honestly. So this is like a whole new thing for me, but I'm willing to try new stuff to see if I can find something that I'll actually like really enjoy. Okay. So it's not bad, but it kind of blends away, and I feel like it's just not like, it's not doing it for me. You know what I mean? Like, I like it, like here, it doesn't look too bad. Like on camera, it looks better. And then like over here, it's a little bit less. It's not quite as nice. And I feel like I can see a little bit of the color of it, which I don't really like. I'd rather it just be like a nice sparkle rather than like a chunk of color. And like on my nose, it's like not even there. And then like here and here, it's kind of blended away. And like, I really don't like the way this is applied. So I think that this is kind of a dud. And I hate to say that because like, I wanted it to work out. Why won't this go back in? Okay, I'm like literally breaking product. So I'm going to go in with my ColourPop Super Shock Cheek Highlighter in Flip Flops. It's brand new to me. I mean, I've been using it for a few days now, so it's like still kind of new, but I really like this highlighter and I like the way that it applies. So I'm just going to put this on top of that area and just try and like cover up the little dud that we got. We were doing so well. We were on track. We were doing great. And then like, you know, it just it just collapsed. Just everything. All right, I'm going to do my eyebrows and do the eye primer before we do our eyeshadow, and then I will come back and we'll do our eyeshadow on camera. Okay, so now that we have our brows done and our eyelids are primed, we're going to go in with an eyeshadow palette that I've had for quite a while, and it is the Emily palette. It is the Once, and I have not used this in a really long time, and I feel really bad because Emily Noel is like one of my favorite YouTubers of all time. Like, I've been a fan of hers for like years. Like, I have loved her so much. I'm trying to get this so it's not in view of the camera, but it's such a big palette that it's like doing whatever it wants. She has a mind of her own, and I don't blame her. I literally don't. Okay, so this palette has a lot of nice jewel tone colors and lots of like purples and pinks and reds and things, but I think we're going to stay very, very neutral today. So I'm going to go in with the Midwest and put that into the crease and just kind of blend that out. Okay, so that applied really nicely. Last time I used this palette, I remember I didn't really care for it a whole lot. And so I'm trying to like get into it again and like really like force myself to like see how it works, see how I like it, keep trying it again. Because I remember I haven't really used it a whole lot since it came out, and that's been like a couple of years. So I'm going to go in with Apartment and put that on my outer corner and just kind of blend it in and up into the crease. Okay, it took a little bit of work, but I honestly like the way that this is blended out. It's a little bit more work than like some of my other palettes are, and I kind of am like a little iffy about it, but honestly this looks so nice that like maybe the effort's not really like that much of a problem. It's just going to have to be one of those products that I need to use whenever I have the extra time to work with it. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. This is typically my inner corner and brow bone highlight brush. And I'm going to go in with Oh Heavens and put that on the inner corner and up in the brow bone. It's more of a brightening shade, less than like a sparkle. And I love a really good, bright, sparkly, clear, white type shade that can go in these areas. I just recently purchased the Madison Beer palette from Morphe. I don't buy Morphe, so I had to think of the name because I honestly don't purchase them that much. And I got it at my TJ Maxx, and my gosh, that is like one of my favorite palettes ever. Like, I love the looks that I create with it so much that it's now like my new go-to palette. And like, I'm always looking for new ones, like for sure. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. It's not like as like, it doesn't have that sparkle that I wanted, but honestly, it's not the worst. So I'm going to go in, let's see, do we want to use Capricorn? Okay, that's a little bit too dark. I think we might go in with Top Story, maybe? I don't know. They're not like, okay, that's good vibes. I know I don't really want to go that red. I think that's a little too red. I think we can go in with Top Story. I wanted one that was like a more champagne-y gold, but this will have to do. And I'm going to put this on the inner part of my lid and just kind of blend it into that matte brown shade on the outer corner. And I'm doing a lot of patting motions so I can like put down the color and then try and blend it out, so in that way I get more of that pigment on there. And honestly, it's not the worst, but I kind of don't like the formula of this product, of this shimmer. To be honest, it's just like not quite as nice as what I've used. But the rest of the palette's okay. So I don't know. I feel bad because like I want to love it so much because I love Emily. And like I want to, like obviously I supported her by buying this. But it's just not like my favorite palette. And I'm trying to like use palettes that I haven't really used a whole lot. Like in my collection, I'm trying to get more use out of them. But this is just like, it's just okay. Okay, that blended out a little bit better. I don't hate the look, but it's definitely like, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you have this palette? Have you used it? Do you still have it if you've used it? What do you think about it? I'm going to go in with that ColourPop highlighter, and I'm going to put that on the inner corner just to kind of like spice it up a little bit because I don't like how dull it looks. I want it to just look like a little bit more poppy. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so I just went in with the Maybelline Curl Bounce Mascara because I don't have one for Makeup Revolution, but I've seen they've released a good many, so let me know if you've tried them and if they're actually worth trying. So I'm going to go in with the Makeup Revolution Super Fix Super Hold Misting Spray. It's an ultra matte mist finish with aloe and vitamin E, and this is like one of my favorite setting sprays. I didn't think I was going to like it when I bought it, but man, it is so nice. It's not an aerosol it's not like an aerosol spray that like you can just continuously spray, but it is a nice one to like, it really gets the mist everywhere, and I feel like it really sets down the makeup for the day. So I'm going to go back in with my sponge and just kind of blend all of that in. And I really like to just get all the water droplets to mesh in with my face anytime that there like might be some, because I do have some setting sprays that tend to do that. So we're going to pat that in. And then I got one of the lip kits, like the lip contour kits. I have never purchased one from Kylie Cosmetics. So this is my first time ever purchasing like a kit for lip products. So I'm really excited to try this out. I got them in the shade Queen, and I was going to go a little bit like more nude, like a neutral nude brown, but I figured I'd go with this because this looked really cute, and I liked the way it looked on the model, so I figured I'd test it out. And it is a pencil lip liner, and then it has a liquid lipstick to go on top. So we're going to start by lining the lips. Okay, I have to say it's really dry, which I'm not really a big fan of. The color's nice, but I think it's a little too light for me, but we're going to go with it anyway because we've committed now. So I'm going to go ahead and put the liquid lipstick on top. Okay, super honesty time. I hate this. I hate it. I think it looks ugly. The color does not look good. I just think it's not good on me. And then with the eye look, it just does not look good. And then it like doesn't mix well with the lip liner. Like I applied some over here and like you can see the lip liner, it like won't mix in. And then it's just like messed, it's like off on this corner of my mouth. And then whenever I applied it on my lower lip, it just like, I don't know. The more it dries, the more I like it because it's a very like, the liquid lipstick is very liquidy and like wet. And like whenever I was applying, I'd go like, and it would like spread everywhere. And like most of my liquid lipsticks don't do that. But the longer it sets, the more I like it. I think that's kind of like a good thing. I don't like the color with this, and I honestly think I'm going to wipe it off and change the color to like a neutral nude lipstick. Like it's drying a little too dry. Like I know a lot of people probably wouldn't like the formula. I definitely won't be repurchasing this, and I think it's just from like, it's not it. And I think I'm going to wipe it off. So that was the only dud. I think the rest of them were good products, but that was the dud. Except for the highlighter. I also didn't really care for this. So I would say those things, like, don't really purchase. The eyeshadow palette was pretty good, but like I said, you have to really work with it. I like the concealer, and I like the blush. I think looks really nice. The bronzer applied really nicely. The foundation. So let's analyze this. If I'm going to say it's the best foundation ever. I like the way that my face is kind of like dewy, but not too dewy. Like it's very matte, but it has like a glow to it. And I love that. I honestly like think that's like the prettiest. It still looks really nice after like 20 minutes of doing makeup. The only thing right here always looks cakey, and it does look cakey now, but I'm kind of suspecting that it's the highlighter because it's like right in this area where I had applied it that it looks like the worst. So I think the highlighter is just like illuminating all of that like yuckiness. So other than that, I think it's actually pretty nice. We'll see how it wears throughout the day and see how I feel about it. But so far, it's so good. Hi everyone, it's Tawney back again to do a check-in on the makeup look that I did today. I used the IRL Filter Foundation from Makeup Revolution, as well as a couple other new products from their line. And I'm standing in front of a window, which is why it like looks so weird, but I really wanted to get like a very natural, like glowy like view, so I could tell you all how I feel about this product or these products, or you know, the whole face in general. So I have been out and about today, and it got kind of hot today, but I was out in the morning, so I really didn't get out in much of the heat, and I was in like the air-conditioned stores and the car and everything, so I really don't think the heat played much of a factor into the makeup today. But spoiler alert for anyone who has not yet watched One Tree Hill or is not caught up to season 6. I got to the episode where Quentin died, and let me tell you, that show, man, I didn't think that this show was actually as good as it is. I've never seen it before, so this is my first time watching it. And I'm 26, so you think I would have seen it whenever it came out, but I was instead watching crappy shows, all those lame shows, and I missed out on all the good stuff, so I'm like rewatching now as like a 20-something-year-old trying to relive her glory days of high school, even though my high school was trash compared to like everyone else's. This show does such a good job of like capturing the sadness of all of these like traumatic events that are happening to people. But man, the episode where Quentin died, and like the following episode where everyone finds out and they're going through all the grief and they're dealing with how to tell this 4-year-old kid that like, hey, his best friend just died, like his best friend who was like a 16-year-old high school student. But like, it was just handled so well, and I just cried. I could not stop crying, and it was more like my eyes would get teary, and all of a sudden like tears would come down here. So I wanted to point that out so you guys would see that like I've been doing some wear and tear on the makeup today, so we can really test it out. I think the foundation held up really well with a lot of like the sides of my face and on the chin. It's a little bit like dewy on my chin, like a little, like I don't want to say greasy, like oily, I guess, because I do have oily, like my complexion is fairly oily, like normal to oily, I would say. And I did have spaghetti, so I was wiping my mouth. So I can't like, I think it still looks great. So honestly, I'm not complaining. The lipstick I wiped off at lunchtime, and I like purposefully wiped it off because I hated the color. And like, it got better the longer I wore it, but I just didn't like it. And it felt really stiff on my lips. And I like a drying liquid lipstick because I feel like it lasts longer, but this was just not it. And I just will not be repurchasing that. So that's definitely a no. But like, here looks really good. Now I have to say that highlighter, I did put the ColourPop highlighter on top. I don't feel like that highlighter did anything except for like mess up my nose, because my nose got really messed up. And I went in right after I got done filming with a beauty blender and just like tapped in certain areas just to get like more of the setting spray like blended in. And the side of my nose got a little bit like, I noticed like right here, not in like the crease there, but like just like right above my nostril basically, that like some of the product had come off. And I'm not necessarily blaming the foundation. I'm kind of more so blaming the highlighter, because I feel like the foundation was good everywhere else. So I'm thinking that that's the cause. But I'm really going to try this foundation out with like some of my staples. Like today I used a different primer than what I've been using lately. And I really like the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I feel like that one is like the best primer primer I have right now, and it works like really well with every foundation. So I'm gonna try that as well as my favorite concealer and powder to try and see like how that works with the foundation. And I really like the bronzer. I think that was really nice. I feel like I need to apply a little bit more next time, and maybe with like a beauty blender, but I have a really hard time figuring out how to use cream products sometimes. So I think that's more just like user error than like an actual problem with the product. So I would say I would recommend that. I think is really nice. And the blush I really like, but I feel like it didn't really like, it wasn't as strong as I would have liked the pigment to be, but I think that was again just my problem because I put it on the back of my hand, dabbed my beauty blender and dabbed a little off and then put it on. But I think if I were to go like into a heavier dab and then blend it in, I'd have a little bit more color to my face because I feel like I'm very like basic nude with like a little bit of the like red pink blush, but like not as much as I like. But overall, I really like the way this looks, and I do think that this is one of the best foundations I've ever used. My forehead is incredibly greasy, but I forgot to powder, and I'm thinking that that's probably the reason why it's greasy, but it's also just because like I'm a greasy, oily person. Like that's who I am. So I do have to say this is like one of my like top 5 or top 3 foundations, but I'm definitely going to do some more testing with this. And I think I might do a half face of the Maybelline Superstay and the Makeup Revolution IRL Filter foundations because the Maybelline Superstay is my favorite foundation of all time. So I think if I were to test it out against that one, we can really see if it's like the best foundation in my collection or if I'm just full of crap. So let me know what you guys think of this video, if you tried this product before. If you have any recommendations on anything from Makeup Revolution that you'd like me to try, feel free to let me know. I definitely love to check those out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ring that notification bell down below so you get notified when I upload my next video. Stay tuned for that one, guys, and I'll see you then. Bye!